All right, we're on. Should be.
Find out in a minute.
We're going. We're in there. Okay, we're in there. We're good.
All right. I keep seeing this thing saying opening over here for chat, so I don't know what the hell's going on with that.
Okay, so we're here. We're live right here. And then, yeah, the group chat's right there. Sorry, guys. This is our first time doing this. It's my first time doing this.
Yeah, there's going to be some hiccups.
Okay. So I'm RJ.
Matt.
That's Matt.
Yeah. The wife's around here somewhere, but she's a little camera shy, so I don't think she's going to step in on this one.
She's going to be spying on us from like all the social media platforms except for YouTube.
She's going to be talking shit.
All right, so here we go. Let me see how we're going to look at the chat box and everything. What's up, guys? How's it going? Okay. All right, so this is Matt right here. He did in August, he did the 12K. Okay, and that was his third month, Matt?
Third month. That was our third month, yeah.
Okay, so you want to start off by introducing yourself and how you started the game and how you got into Merch by Amazon?
So we got married this year, and like all weddings, they cost a lot of goddamn money. So we were looking for ways to make extra money, and that's kind of how I stumbled on Gary Vee. Gary Vee was talking about his, $20,170 challenge. And that's how I stumbled on Reezy. So found Reezy, heard about Amazon, heard about FBA, and we started selling some books and made a little bit of money there. But it was a lot of goddamn work, and I was busy with my business. She had her design business. And I heard you call in to Reezy's call-in show about T-shirts and Merch by Amazon and stuff. And I had already kind of joined, but we weren't doing anything with it. We were accepted. And I was like, well, we just got to try this. So tried it. First month we did $350, I think. Tiered up from the 10 tier up to the 500 tier. And then second month we did right around $1,500. And then third month was the Eclipse, and that was bonkers. That was insane. Like every day. Like literally we had to shut off merch tools because it was just ding, 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 ding. Like you couldn't even work. So it was fun for sure. But yeah, we did a little over $12,000 with the Eclipse. We're still selling Eclipse shirts right now.
I know. I seen your Eclipse shirt. I was spying on it. I was like, let me make this little cover photo for Instagram. And I was like, I know where your shirt is. It has to be making sales still. So during the month of August, how many shirt sales were you doing every single day? Like, what was your average shirt sale per day? Did you ever get that down or any by chance?
So it kind of built up. So it would go from 10 to 12, and then the next week it would go from 20 to 30, and then the 3 weeks before the Eclipse, I don't think we did less than probably 70 shirts a day. The day of the Eclipse, we did 262 shirts on that single day. Made like $1,100 that day.
Dang, that's
so that was insane. That was crazy. Like we were kind of watching the trend, and we could see that we were gonna have a really good month. We weren't sure where we were gonna end up, and I thought we'd end up somewhere between 8 to 10K. And then those last couple days of the Eclipse just put it right over the top. And then it just kept selling afterwards. I figured that before the 21st, I thought it was going to die off because nobody's going to want to buy an Eclipse shirt until and not get it in time for the Eclipse. Well, everybody that went and saw the Eclipse decided they wanted to buy one, I guess, because it just kept selling. It's still selling.
Did you, by any chance, did you get any pictures of anybody showing your shirt?
No. Yeah, no. I wish we would have seen somebody wearing the shirt, but no, we didn't.
I searched Instagram.
My wife says she searched Instagram for our shirt, but she didn't find it.
We can't hear you over there in the corner. Hi, Aaron.
I can't hear him.
Yeah, I know you can't. It's because I've got my headphones on. She can't hear what you're saying.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't even sell I sold maybe 6 Eclipse shirts. I wasn't even focused on that. I completely forgot that trend. and then you just blew it out the water.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It was crazy. So I don't see anybody in the group chat. Like, is it on your side?
Yes. Let me see how I would make you. Okay, I see it right here. Give me 1 second.
Okay. You're gonna have to watch it on like your phone or something. Because otherwise, we're gonna hear this. You're gonna hear it in the background here.
No, you can't. Like, just put them on.
When you're logging in, you can't see it at all.
Hold on.
Can you go into go into YouTube? Open up like another window and it'll show it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Makes sense.
And then for August too as well. How many shirts did you have live?
At that point, I think we had, at the start of the month, we were like probably less than 200 designs. And then by the end of the month, we were at like 350, somewhere around there. We ended up moving like right at the end of August, right? Yeah, right at the end of August. So it kind of screwed up our uploads.
Yeah, but you were still selling that same shirt while you were moving though.
Oh yeah, that was the best part about it, is like while we were moving, we didn't lose out on any money. Like, it just kept coming in. We didn't have to do any work, didn't have to do anything.
But I also feel like that's why it was easier for us to maybe not doing it, because we're like, oh, we're still making money.
Right.
So we could take a few days off and move.
Yeah, that's the power. That's the power of merch, right? Like, you don't even have to be there to be making money.
Well, that's the beauty of it. It's like legitimately, it's passive income. Like, there's no such thing as passive income. Like, you'll hear this crap all over the internet. Like, these gurus trying to sell you these systems that you can just make thousands of dollars by not doing anything. Shit don't exist. Like, this is real, legitimate passive income. Like, you don't have to do anything as long as you have your designs loaded up, and you just get paid out money. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. That was amazing. When I seen your numbers, you're doing like 4K the last 7 days. I was like, what the? This is gonna be a good post. It'd be a really good post for you at the end of the month.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I'm looking forward to December, right? Like, friggin' Ken Reel, the Merch Fairy, talks about how he did 30K in December last year. Like, sky's the limit, guys. It really is.
Exactly. Okay. Then what do you think about how would you attack a trend? How did you attack the Eclipse trend? Like, how did you hear about it? How did it pop to your head? Like,
so we found it on Merch Informer. We were just going through, like, it's part of my routine. Every single day, what I do is I just search like the top 1,000 shirts on Merch Informer and just look and see if there's any kind of trends. If there's anything that's standing out that looks weird, that I'm like, okay, I don't understand this. Why is this shirt selling so much? And I noticed that, like, there was a decent number of Eclipse shirts that were selling. It wasn't like it was at that point. This was in like late June. So I told Aaron, I was like, you know what, let's just throw a couple of designs up there. Like, we'll see what's happening. It's selling, right? And we had a spin on the design that was different than a lot of stuff that was out there at the time. Like, a lot of people just had like the basic like sun blocked by the moon and the date or whatever. And we decided we were going to do something with the entire country. So I think that's part of the reason it took off. It was just a different design. Because that's the thing, is if you're going to get in on a trend, you want to have something that stands out, that's different. Don't try and copy somebody else's shirt and expect that your design is going to take off. Like, you can only improve it so much.
Yeah, that's correct. That's what I that's what I try to tell everybody too as well. Like, with the trends, it's like, it's very important, but just don't copy nothing, or don't even do nothing that's trademarked. Because like the Rocket Man is trademarked. Like,
the number of people that I see that are jumping on some of these designs too, like, and risking their account to make, you make decent money for sure. Like, you can make a lot of money by selling that shirt, but it's not worth it giving up your account right now. Especially, like, I don't know if you guys saw it today, but like, some people started looking at some of the back end code on merch, and it looks like hoodies and some other items are coming out. I don't know if they're going to come out in time for fourth quarter, but it definitely looks like Amazon's about to do that. Like, the amount of money that you can make once that stuff comes out, that's ridiculous. Why would you ever, like, just not worth it?
Mm-hmm. Then now you're talking about $10 to $15 to $20 profits on sweaters that you can.
Exactly. And like, hoodies like sell like crazy. It's the biggest reason like we wanted to do the Etsy stuff, is because we figured it was going to be a while before we were able to do hoodies and some of the other stuff that you can do on the Printful Etsy integration. If Amazon starts doing that, like, there are so many more items that are going to sell. You completely widen your catalog. Like, you basically took the number of designs you had, and even if it's just hoodies, you doubled the number of designs you have that can sell in a day.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, guys, Matt is like one of my go-to guys. When I have a problem with something, I'll actually message Matt and ask him a question, or message Erin and ask her a question, because we understand each other, and we're kind of like on the same level, and so we got a feel for each other, and we know how the business works, and that's what it's all about. What it's all about to us, you know what I mean? We want to scale this business as much as possible and be successful as much as possible. So,
I mean, I would say too, like, one of the things that's like really important too, if you want to be successful in this business or any other business, is you got to network, right? Like, you guys are in these groups, you guys are talking to each other, and you're seeing the same people talk every single day. Like, make connections. Like, if you find somebody else that's a hustler out there, like, make a connection, talk to these people, because it'll help you out. You'll see things, or he'll see something, or she'll see something that you might not see, and because you have that relationship and you guys are talking and bouncing ideas off, everybody grows.
Yeah. Exactly. So, Matt, could you see the actual comments at all?
Yeah, I'm looking through the chat right now.
Okay. Let me see. All right, guys. So we're gonna go straight into the audience and answer your guys' questions. Get straight to the point. You guys know how I am. Yeah, let's go. Where do you want to start? Let me see.
Looks like Abraham is the first question I'm seeing. It's like, what tier are we at and how many shirts live? We just tiered up to 1K today, guys. We've got 408 or 409 designs live. Our goal is to max out our uploads for the next month. Like I said, we kind of screwed around a little bit with moving and everything else. We didn't really take advantage of like what I think we could have done. I think if we max our uploads out for the next month, hopefully we can tier up to 2K before fourth quarter, provided Amazon doesn't shut off the tier ups. That's our goal. We want to get up as many shirts as possible, really try and take advantage of this next couple of month period, because you make way more money in fourth quarter than you do any other time of the year. Like, this is where you make your money.
Yeah. Okay, guys, do me a favor, please. Could you guys share the video too as well? Really appreciate that.
Yep.
That means a lot.
Thumbs up too.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up too. Okay, and then let's see the next question. Fernando, he already answered that question about the tier. He just answered it right now. David, do you outsource your designs or design them yourself, Matt and Erin?
So we just hired our first designer about a week and a half ago. Still working out some of the kinks. Like, she does a good job. It's just a matter of getting together a workflow that works for us, because we like to make sure that like nothing is in the designs that might get us in trouble. Just because we just hired her, I want to make sure that we're double checking all that stuff. And then also it's just kind of working out the kinks, because she's in the Philippines, we're over here in California, so we're on different time schedules. And then I work during the day, so it's hard for me to be up like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, whenever, to talk to them. So we got to work out a system for communicating and kind of getting some stuff taken care of a little bit better. We're going to have to hire another designer pretty quick too. So I'm trying to work out all these kinks first before we start adding on other people. Fix the problems first, have a system in place so everything kind of runs smooth once we add the people in.
Yeah, and then goes to outsourcing. You know what I mean? It's very powerful. You know, you can't build $1 million business, $1 million sales business without a team. It can't be just you and another person. You got to scale. You know what I mean? You have to have 4 or 5 designers designing a day, 5 to 10 designs a day. And then also too, if you have an uploader in place, that's even bigger, because you can wake up and research or do whatever you do, or just look over everything. So that's very important. So in order for you to scale, you have to outsource. So that's very important. I want you guys to understand that.
The big thing too, guys, like if you're using all your brain power to do like your uploading and your designs and everything else, you're going to miss things. Like, you're going to miss trends. You're going to miss, other things that are going on in the world that might open up the door for you to put up a design like, the Take a Knee, or some of the Kaepernick designs that went up over the weekend that people made a lot of money off of. Like, having that extra brain power so you can kind of think about like, hey, what's coming up? Where is this shirt and everything else? Like, it's valuable.
Exactly. All right, so Curtis with the next question. What do you think about putting every shirt under one brand, and SEO boost brand building versus copycats, no keywords in the brand? Rumor is Amazon talked about branding at the Seattle conference.
Yeah, so I mean that's the word that we got out too, that basically branding and some of these other things that we've been talking about, like not keyword stuffing, just doing a better job of taking care of Amazon's customers, because Amazon's the seller, guys. Like Amazon's name is on the listing, so they want to make sure that when their customers are looking at these things, it doesn't look like something Amazon wouldn't want to put up. I think eventually what's going to happen is we are going to move to the point where if you're going to sell merch by Amazon, you're going to have to go into the brand registry. You're going to have to register your brand name, all of this stuff to kind of help them to police copycats. I don't think it's a bad idea. I know there are some very successful sellers out there that literally sell every shirt under one brand. Like there's one guy that me and RJ know that has probably 16,000 designs up all under one brand, and he kills it. I don't know. It depends on what you want to do with your business, right? Like there are some other tools that Amazon recently came out with, the Amazon storefront that you can get through on AMS, that kind of makes me think that having your shirts under one brand makes a little bit more sense too. But there's definitely some SEO boosts. So like a boost to your listing by having some of these keywords in the brand name. It helps for some of your shirts to stand out. I think what our plan is essentially is we're going to try and divide our shirts up into a small number of brands. So we can still take advantage of some of that keyword boost, but kind of keep them grouped tighter together. Because really it does make a difference when you have one shirt in a brand that starts to sell. When people go through and they look at your shirt, Amazon will show them other shirts that you already have listed up. Like, here are new designs from XYZ brand. And so it automatically helps you to sell because your shirts are the ones that they're seeing. They're not seeing other people's shirts down at the bottom of the listing. So I think it's definitely powerful. We haven't explored it fully. Like so far what we've been doing is essentially having a different brand name for pretty much every niche, not every shirt. I think that we're going to continue to kind of group things tighter and tighter together. Maybe having all of our holiday shirts, so Halloween, Christmas, everything else, bringing that all under one niche, because I want to take advantage of having shirts that sell successfully and have good BSR to hopefully lead to a boost in BSR for our other stuff when the other holidays come up.
Yeah, that's good too. That's what me and Matt have been working on too as well. We noticed that people click on the brand. They seem to click on the brand and they go in and look at the other shirts that are on your listing. So they'll go in, click on the brand, and then look at your other shirts, and then all of a sudden you notice like 3 or 4 of your other shirts made a sale for Halloween or for Christmas or whatever it might be. So basically each niche, you want to keep that brand under that niche, and then you make the main niche and then sub niche under that. So yeah.
I mean, the nice thing too, and this is kind of where I've been thinking about like keeping things under a smaller number of brand names, is if we ever do have to go through and brand register and change around the brand name on all of our shirts, it's much easier for me to change around like 5 different brand names than it is for me to change around like 500 different brand names.
Okay. Let's see the next question. Let me see. Okay.
Looks like
Fernando, what percentage of your designs? That one?
Yeah, trends versus evergreen. I would say probably 70-30, evergreen versus trends. Trends are great. Like if they take off, they can make you a lot of money. But if you miss the trend, or if you don't have a shirt that takes off, like that shirt really doesn't do anything for you, especially on a trend like the Eclipse. Like if you put up a bunch of Eclipse shirts at the end and they didn't sell, all they did was take up slots for you. Whereas the evergreen stuff, like it sells all the time. Like we've got a couple shirts that literally like they probably sell at least once a day, if not more. And they're just in different little niches. Like that one shirt will make us probably $1,000 throughout the year, just that one design.
And that's how powerful that is. And it probably took you about an hour or 2 to make?
Yeah, probably not even that. Like it's incredible. Some of the designs that go up that like my wife will tell you, like we're like, that's never going to sell. There's just no way. Like, and here's the other thing too, right? Like, so we'll have designs that like she's working on and it's like, I don't really like that. I'm like, put it up. Like, because you don't know. The market's the one that decides, right? Specifically, like we had this shirt that was about a state and she didn't like the design at all. I didn't really like the design. And I'm like, fuck it. Like, throw it up. We'll see what happens. That shirt has outsold all of them by like 10-1. And it's a shirt that like we thought was just ugly. Like we didn't think it was good at all, but in like the design's done, we have to fill a slot, so let's put it up. I mean, that's the other thing too, is like when you get above like the 500 tier and you have to hit 10 uploads a day, like you don't have the time to really like make sure that your design is perfect, all dialed in, everything is great, because you're never going to be able to like upload enough designs to keep tiering up. Like sometimes good enough is good enough.
Sometimes most of my designs are
Most of your designs are pretty good.
Yeah, you guys are your designs are pretty good. Some of my designs, I get mad at my designer. I'm like, what? Why'd you make this? He'd tell me like, why'd you make this? And then all of a sudden he'll make it sell. Like 2 days later, I'm just like, oh, now I feel like a jackass.
That's exactly. It's happened several times. Like her Father's Day shirt that I told her there's no way it's ever going to sell, and she won that argument.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's sold. So Ivan Pena looks like he's next. Does changing price affect shirts? So, do you mean does changing the price after it's sold, does it affect like BSR? So as far as pricing goes, the way that we look at it, and we're still experimenting with this, and I think nobody really has the answer. I think pricing is very dependent upon what the shirt is, right? Like, so if it's in an evergreen niche and your shirt is the best one out there, I think it totally makes sense to price high. Like, you have the best shirt in there. There's probably not a ton of competition. You might as well make the maximum amount of money that you can. In a trending niche, unless you're like in the top 3 in the results or whatever, I think it makes sense to price really competitively. Like, you don't want to be the highest price out there. You want to be right in the middle. And so that way, when people are looking at the listings, like, they're not going to shoot by you because, hey, I can buy this shirt at $16.99, this shirt is $21.99 or whatever. So that's just the way that we think about it. Right now, kind of the way that we're pricing our shirts is for trending designs, we're starting off at $11.99. And then every time we get a sale, we bump the price by $1. So $11.99, $12.99, $13.99, up to right around $16.99. That kind of seems to be the sweet spot for us with trending designs. For evergreen stuff, we are still experimenting. I've got a lot of shirts out there that I just threw up there at $16.99, and they seem to sell just as quickly as they do at $11.99. Provided the shirt design is good, and then you're just making more money right off the bat. You're not going through those steps. But I think as merch gets more competitive, a lot of the techniques that like private label sellers use and wholesale accounts use in terms of getting their items to rank, the same things work with merch. So what they'll do is they'll price their items at like a break-even point, something really, really low to get a lot of sales, spike the BSR, run some PPC to it, and then raise the price. Where we're going.
That's fire right there. That was fire. I'm getting all pumped up now. Good shit. Good shit. That was badass. Okay. What's your ad spend and how do you advertise?
So we're running some PPC on Amazon right now, just the product ads. It's pretty minimal because we're still trying to figure this out. And I've been too lazy to actually watch the videos on how to run headline ads and to run the other ad that you can run against like your competitor shirts. I'm using it right now more for the PPC data, right? So like if you set up an automatic campaign, Amazon picks out what keywords they think are best. And then you just run all those keywords against your shirt listing. And then after like 10 days or whatever, you have a lot of data that tells you, hey, this keyword converts pretty well. It gets a lot of impression. It gets a lot of clicks. And then that's how you can really improve some of your listings. So by spending a minimal amount of money, spending $5 a day for 10 days, so $50 on a shirt, you can get better keywords than most of your competition. So that's what we're using for right now is like, I want to find out what Amazon thinks are the best keywords and then take that data and apply it to my shirts, tighten up my listings, and hopefully they perform better than my competition versus the guys that are throwing darts at, a wall and going, hey, I think that we should have pumpkin spice in our pumpkin or in our Halloween listing or whatever.
Okay, and then also too with the data, are you putting it that main keyword that's getting like the best, like say let's get like the best percentage wise or click wise, are you putting it in front of the title now? Like when you edit the title,
it goes to the front of the title because I think that there is, even though Amazon has, they treat things different than Google apparently. And I don't know, I'm not an expert at this. This is just going off secondhand information I've heard. The way that their search algorithm works, it works differently than Google. So Google gives a lot of credence to exact match. So long-term keywords. So like, dolphin swimming t-shirt, like that exact phrase will make you rank higher on Google than it will on Amazon. What Amazon does apparently is they're supposed to take all of the words in your listing and kind of mix them up together and everything else. And that's how they kind of figure out what your shirt's about. It's not a great way to explain it. Like I said, I'm not an expert. But I think there's something to be said for having that exact match keyword at the front of your title because it's the first thing that people are looking for.
Yeah, so basically he just got the data from the AMS ad or whatever the keyword he had, the ads he ran, he got all the data, and now he knows that keyword is ranking a lot better, or they're searching for that exact key word. And my keyword, putting a Halloween bat shirt in the front of that title, and the brand too, I believe so, and it's ranking a lot better. So he'll get more clicks. Okay, next question.
How the results outside of the clip shirts?
Yeah.
I mean, they're solid. Like, we're still probably going to do around like $2,000 this month, with 400 designs up. And like I said, we probably missed, like, I know for a fact we missed out on Oktoberfest. We should have had the designs up way earlier than we did, but we had that period in the middle where we couldn't upload them. I mean, I'm pretty happy with our results. Like, where we are numbers wise, everything else, I think we're in good shape for us to really make a push for fourth quarter, to have a really, really nice, our goal, I mentioned it the other day, our goal is, we want to do 20K for fourth quarter. And I think that's totally doable. Like, I don't think that's a crazy goal by any mean. Like, I think that's 100% what we can do.
Yeah, you got it. You got it for sure. Okay. Keep it. Okay. Do you keep
a spreadsheet with our design info?
Yeah.
No. So what we use is there's a tool called Merch Lister Pro that we use to keep track of all of our to be able to easily list our shirts. I don't keep track like every single shirt. We have a lot up, and honestly, I don't really know where it would make a difference. Like, to analyze the data by having a spreadsheet like that, it's not my expertise. I'm not great at that. That's not my thing. So no, we don't keep track of things like that. We just kind of depend on the Amazon backend, the manage tool, to kind of see what's coming up, what's coming down, etc.
Okay. And then David, taking notes. I got 9 questions ready to go. Bring them on, man. Bring them on.
Bring it.
Okay, and then the next question, David. Oh, here he goes. Do you price low and start to raise the price as it sells? So do you get your first sale and then do you raise the price after that? And how much raise it to?
Yeah, so that, again, we just talked about that. Like, for a trending thing, we're going to raise it up slower than we are with a evergreen niche, just because we really want to spike the BSR, get it to take off. And there's more demand. So you're going to have a lot more people looking at those shirts. So I think there's merit for having it priced a little bit lower and raising it up gradually. Whereas like an evergreen niche, like, somebody may not be looking for that shirt every single day. So like on an evergreen shirt, we're going to start off, generally we'll start off, at like $11.99, and then we get one sale, raise it to $16.99, just to get it found in Amazon, to have it get it to have a BSR. For the trending stuff, we raise it more gradually.
Yeah, okay. And also too, what I noticed as well, if a customer likes the design, the first thing they're going to look at is the design first. And then the second thing they're going to look at is the price. So if the price and the design go together pretty well, they're going to buy it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely merit to the fact that, like, some customers are going to overlook your shirt because it's really, really cheap, which is why, like I said, we do this more with trending designs, because there's more people looking at those shirts. There's more demand. So I want to grab the people that only care about price, because that's the only way you're going to make the sale anyways. Grab those people, make sales, get the BSR to start going, and then start raising the price and start taking advantage of some of the other people that are going to buy.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Also, too, so the next question, how do you go about the niches and stuff like that? Like, how do you go about picking a niche that you're going to go design for? How many designs will you do for that niche in a day, or how many designs would you do in general for one niche?
So the niche thing, I actually depend on the niche research spreadsheet that you put together. Like, it just makes it kind of easy. I just go down the list, and I don't like differentiate or like cherry pick. I feel like it's easier for us to just kind of go down we have a list of a gigantic spreadsheet that RG put together, and we just kind of go down the list and put the term, whatever the niche is, into Merch Informer and pull up all the shirts for it. And like, literally, like, I don't set aside like a certain number. I'm going to do 10 cat shirts and that's all we're going to have. Like, I'm going to put up as many designs as are going to rank. So if there are, like, the cat niche I was looking at the other day, it's insane. Like, there's probably, I would say, at least 25 shirts that are under 300K BSR. And every single one of those shirts, like, if provided I think there's something that we can do better or do different, we're going to put a design up in that area. So there's no like hard, fast rules. It's more about like, what's the demand from the market. The market's going to tell you where to put your shirt up. Like you don't have to make any guesses. Like all the information is there. Just use the tools. Use Merch Informer. Find out where the design is selling. Like that's where you should be making designs. I think that's where a lot of people get in trouble is they come into this game and they think, hey, I have some great ideas for designs. I'm going to throw these up. And then like 3 weeks later, nothing's fucking sold. And you know why it hasn't sold? Because you don't know the market. Like you don't determine what's good or what's not good. Like the market determines what's good. It's really hard for a lot of people to understand that like just because you love your design, and it might be cute, don't get me wrong. Like it might be a good design. Like I'm not trying to offend anybody, but like at the end of the day, like you have to make things that people want to buy if you want to make sales. Mm-hmm. It's not art. Like you're not doing art. You're doing e-commerce.
Exactly. And right now, unicorns, hippos, sloths, nap shirts, nap queen. I made a couple of those.
Yeah. Hey. Oh, careful with that. Hey.
Nap
Queen's trademark. Be careful.
See you guys. Now I gotta go and delete it now.
I got an end around that. I'll tell you what to do.
So look I just told him this is a perfect example right here. Actually told him what I made, and he told me that it was trademark. If I didn't tell him what I made, I would have never knew if it was trademark, and I would have got a ding against my account. So that's a perfect example right there. Don't worry about I don't worry about if he's gonna copy my design or not. I can care less if he copies my design, but he won't. So it's all.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I might take some inspiration from your design. Like if I see there's a niche and it's selling, I might take a little look at it, but I ain't gonna copy your design.
Inspiration. That's what they call it nowadays. All right. Okay, let's go on to the next question.
It looks he's same question. He's asking if we do scaled designs. So you're talking about like mom, dad, sister, brother, all that stuff. We do a little bit of that. I don't do a ton of it. We may start doing it more now. We have 20 uploads a day that we got to hit. So we may start doing that a little bit more. It's powerful. It definitely is something where like if you have a good design, it's a great way for you to get a decent amount of the market, because that design, if it sells good for like one person, it's probably going to sell good for like mom, dad, aunt, uncle, whatever. So that's something we're going to start doing a little bit more, just because it's easier to scale out. If you're at the lower tiers, so like anything below 500 and you only have 2 uploads a day, it's really hard to do scaled designs. Like I feel like, we've talked about this before. Like I feel like if you're below 500 tier, you really shouldn't worry about making money. Like don't even care. Like play the long game. Price all your shirts low, get sales, hit those numbers, and then just try and focus on trending stuff that's going to sell multiple copies.
And he focused on the trending stuff. The reason why he got 12K in a month was because he focused on the trending stuff. Like he's seen something, the eclipse, he's seen that it was going to take off, and then he just made a shirt, and he didn't know it was going to make a sell. He did not know it was going to make a sell until he tested the market, like he said. And then he tested the market.
That's the truth. Like we had no idea the shirts were going to sell the way they were. Like, I mean, shit, if you would have told me that we were going to sell, $12,000 worth of clip shirts, I would have just said you're crazy. But once we saw that those shirts were selling, then we doubled down on what we were doing. Like we saw that there was a lot of demand for that. So we made probably 25 other designs. Yeah, probably like 25 other designs, and we should have made more. Like 100% knowing what we know now, we should have made more, because we would have made a lot more money. But that's where, like I said, it's really powerful when you're in the lower tiers, and it's really hard to get sales sometimes. If you can have one design take off, it can literally take you from the 10 tier and take you all the way out of that tier if it takes off the right way. And there's some guy the other night that was selling, assuming it was something related to the protests in the NFL, and he had a shirt that took off, just uploaded that morning, and sold I want to say over 200 designs in a day.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. So we have 75, 74 viewers right now. So what did you do what do you plan on doing with the 12K? What are you gonna do?
So the plan is, as of right now, it's been a good month in general. Like I have my own business. I own a pool service, so it's been a good month. Like we actually sold off a portion of the business. Like we had this money come in. Like it's been a really good month for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little vacation kind of at the end of the month here. And then in October, we're going to go on like a 9-day road trip. We're going to go up and see my sister up in Humboldt, and then go spend some days in San Francisco and some days down the coast. Treat ourselves a little bit.
And they moved into a new place, and now they're going to go on vacation. Like, doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah. No, I mean, the idea is hopefully that we're going to take some of that money, though, and we're going to reinvest it in a couple of other business opportunities. Having some things go right for us in a couple of different areas has opened it up for us to invest some things in some other opportunities with Amazon. I think Reezy's the one that brought it up. Like, if you aren't doing something in e-commerce right now, like, you're missing out on the wave. There's just so many opportunities to make money in so many different things.
Exactly. Okay, where do we leave off on these questions? They wrapped them all up. Let's see how fast we take down the shirt. Where the hell did it go?
Verge is asking, could we do a tutorial on that? I don't know what you're talking about, Verge. If you can clarify that later on in the chat. Kristen Harris, I just got in some applications for designers. They all look the same to me. How do you decide who to work with? Right now, I'm eeny meeny. I don't know what RJ did, but Dean J-Ro actually made a good suggestion to me. What they did was they actually gave them a test. So they gave them 3 different designs to do, and they picked out, what they did is they took all their applications, had the people that looked the best out of it. So you're going to see a difference in the different applications, right? Like, some guys are actually going to provide their portfolio. You're going to get to see their work, and other guys are going to go, hey, I think I can design. You should hire me. Like, obviously, you don't want to use those guys. So what we did is we ranked all of the people that we got applications for, from 1 to like 30. We had about 30 different ones, and we picked the top 5 and then had them do a little test. Basically, have them design 3 different shirts, and then compare those 3 different shirts, and it kind of helps you figure out like what skills these people actually had. So we picked a shirt that was just typography, so just type. We picked a shirt that had a trending design, so it was a Halloween design that required them to actually do some graphic work and everything else. And then, the wine shirt. We picked a wine shirt. They all had different qualities to it, so they were very different shirts, because I wanted to see, I didn't want to see just one design, because somebody can probably come up with just one design or pass off one design as their own or whatever. Because, trust people to double check their work. Don't just take somebody at their word. And by doing that, it made it really clear really quickly, like, who the best designer out of the group was.
Yeah, then also too, like, mentioning to them, like, it's a long-term job. It's very important, because if you mention to them it's a long-term job, they would kind of respect you more. And if you tell them, let's say you're going to be part of a team, like, you're going to be working for a team, and this is a long-term job, they love that, and they want the money, so they will listen to you. If you, like, sometimes you have to yell at them, like, straight up, like, it's a business. You got to treat it like a business. You can't be messing around, because it's your account. And if they mess up and they mess up your account, they don't got a job. It's simple. You got to fire them. That's it. You can get no money. Get out of here. You're fired. Go.
It's a business. It is.
So,
what are our sales royalty on a 7-day period outside the eclipse? We're right around. It varies. It's been a little bit slower for us the last couple of weeks, like I said, because we didn't have Oktoberfest. But we're right around 100 shirts a week. Royalties off the top of my head, I'm guessing is somewhere in the neighborhood of like $500 a week. So like I said, we're going to end up somewhere around 2K this month. I mean, RJ's having a pretty decent month. He's doing more than we are.
All right. Yeah, right now I'm scaling from last month. I already beat last month already yesterday. And, yeah, I should be on track to hit 5K, hopefully, anywhere between 4,500 and 5K. And I'll do a video on that for you guys too as well, just to show you how I did it and go from there. All right, let's go with the next question.
The punctuation, exclamation marks, and the bullet points. So I think what that is more of a so I posted this in the group the other day about the style guide. I think that's Amazon's style guide in terms of what they think is best. I don't think that's necessarily like a hard and fast rule. I don't think it's going to be something that you're dinged for. Because I see people write different bullet points on Amazon all the time. Like, at the end of the day, guys, like, what I try and do, especially when it comes to like listings, I want to see everything that's on the site. So I use Amazon all the time. Like, we shop on there constantly. So, like, when you're shopping for something on there, look and see how other people do their bullet points. Look and see what other people are doing, especially like if you're looking for something specifically for yourself. You're probably going to buy something that's better than just randomly window shopping. So it's probably going to be something that's selling really well on Amazon. So if this is a bestseller on Amazon, it's somebody that's doing the thing right. Like, look at their bullet points. Take a look at it, figure out what they're doing, and see if you can incorporate that in what you're doing. It doesn't always work, because sometimes there's different setups depending on what the market is. Like if it's electronics or whatever, and it's private label, they have different options than we do. They can add images. Sometimes they can do some HTML stuff, other things, but you'll get the idea.
Yeah, then Amazon seems to want you to get straight to the point now. Like they don't want you to keyword stuffing. They don't want that at all. They want you straight to the point, get the sale, get out. That's it. That's what they want. That's all they want. So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think at the end of the day, too, like we should be listening to what Amazon is saying, right? Like, so the information came out from that Seattle conference that they wanted a better experience for their customer. They didn't want super long bullet points. They wanted things to get to the point. They wanted them to be on point, not to have words and keywords in there that didn't apply to your design. Like, Amazon is going to adjust. Like, the merch is brand new for them, but they're smart. They're really smart. Like, they're going to start designing their algorithms that are, helping show T-shirts to penalize these people that are putting in all these other keyword stuff to make their designs rank right now. That stuff's going to disappear, and it's going to cause these accounts to get penalized.
Yeah, exactly. And they said something about like a customer only spends like a certain amount of time on the listing before they buy it. Before they decide to make a buying purchase, they only spend like, I'm not even sure, less than 3 minutes, probably even less than that.
It's less than that.
30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like if you have your phone and you're flipping through Amazon, you're looking at designs, like you're never even looking at the title, anything. Like you're looking at the design. Like 100% when I shop, I'm looking at the thumbnail first, and that's the design, and then I'm clicking through, and I might see the description on mobile. I'm not going to see the bullet points.
I'm the worst Amazon shopper. I never read anything. Yeah. I just look at the shirts.
Okay, next question is, how do you find like a trend? Like, what do you look for? What search terms do you look for when you're finding a trend? Like, what do you look for?
I'm not going to Amazon to find trends. So I'm going to use a couple of different tools. So Google Trends is great, guys. Like, figure out how to use that. It's really, really powerful. And it's really good for understanding too, like when you should be thinking about putting up a shirt. Like you can literally see on Google Trends when the search traffic takes off for Halloween, when the search traffic takes off for Christmas. Like these are the things that you guys should be looking for. And Google Trends shows you trends from, all across the US. Like you can filter down for USA and you can see what's actually showing up, what's popular, what's a lot of search terms. It's generally a good idea. The other area that works really well, honestly, is Twitter. Like if you guys know how to use Twitter, if you have a Twitter account, like spend a little bit of time every day on it, because you're going to find out really quickly what people are talking about. Yeah,
Donald Trump is a gold mine, I'll tell you that right now. I have shirts for him and I have shirts against him. So if it's going to make money, yeah.
That's actually a good question here from Jay Reed. Has the potential Q4 freeze affected our pricing strategy? It's not something I've thought about, but that's actually a good question, because last year they basically rolled back prices and froze everything on people at some point during Q4. I don't know exactly when it was. I think Amazon's probably a little bit better prepared this year, because last year they did not expect it to take off the way that it did. But I mean, it is something to think about.
There's see Jason Tuck's question about the brand, same niche.
Yeah, so similar, very close. So if we're uploading a bunch of witch shirts, for example, in Halloween, we're going to have basically the same bullet points, everything else. You don't need to change it other than maybe whatever the descriptor is on the shirt. So, for example, we have a Drink Up Witches shirt. We have My Broomstick Runs on Wine. So those titles are going to be different. They're going to have different sayings. I'm going to change the name of the shirt in the bullet point, because I'll generally mention the shirt name in the bullet point also. But all the other keywords, they apply. They're the same.
Okay, then the next question. Did you everybody got tiered up today? Did you get tiered up?
I got tiered up.
So you were 500 to 1,000, or where were you at?
Yeah, we're 1K now.
1K, and that's what, 10 a day? 20?
20 a day. Gotta get our hustle on.
And then your sales are already way past that, of course.
Yeah. I mean, we should be eligible for. No, we're eligible for 4K. I think we might almost be eligible for 6K. I think we're almost 4,000 shirts sold.
That's cool. So another thing too, when they first met me and I kind of showed them everything, like how to do everything, I was already at 15K profit, loading full time every single day since the end of April, right? And then they caught that one in August, and they came the royalties and everything just caught up right up to me. It was crazy. Like I was
That's
like,
that to me is like the craziest thing about merch, right? Like everybody's interested in like what tier you're at, how many designs you have up, and everything else. Like literally, like having 2 designs, like it can change everything for you guys. Like those 2 designs, we made a lot of money off the Eclipse, off a bunch of different designs, but it was 2 designs that really made us the most money. Like those 2 designs made us so much money. It's stupid. Like if you're at the 10 tier, like you should be fist pumping right now, because like if you have one design that takes off, like that design could make you guys 10K in Christmas, 100%.
There's his basically his 2 designs wiped out my 3 months of uploading full time. That's all it was. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Okay, I'm researching. See that knee t-shirt? Well,
Yeah. So, he says, I'm researching knee t-shirts, but don't know why. But one came up that said Hillary sucks, but not as good as Monica. Really funny, but I thought political stuff was not allowed. Political stuff is generally it's allowed. So you're a public figure. That's why all these Donald Trump shirts are up there, even though like Trump has his name trademarked and everything else, because he's the president of the United States. He's considered a public figure. So parody is allowed. And that's why Amazon hasn't taken down these shirts. That particular shirt, I wouldn't upload simply because Amazon is really, really stringent about like designs that cross the line. So cursing, profanity, those kind of things. I don't think it's worth it personally, especially because it seems to me anyways, most of our political shirts that we have up, they take a while to go through review. Like they always get a manual review. It's just not worth it to me. There's so many other ways to make money.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's another thing. Just got to be careful. Anything like you have to think about, just don't even do it. If you have to think about it, don't do it. And then sometimes, like I said, just discuss the designs with someone that you know, and then they'll tell you if it's good, if it's trademark, or if I don't know. They're just like you gotta communicate with each other basically. So okay, the next question: how many hours do you work a week and you spend on merch a week?
A lot. That's the other thing I think of a lot of people, that are just getting into this don't really realize. And part of it is too, like there's only so much you can do when you're at the 10 tier or the 25 tier or even the 100 tier now, because you only have 2 uploads. But we spend a lot of time working on merch. Like I work, a full day. I come home and I get in front of my computer and I start working. And I generally work until probably 9 o'clock at night every single night. I work every Saturday, every Sunday, like a full day. Like we'll start at 8 o'clock in the morning and I'll still be working until 10 o'clock at night. It's an opportunity, guys. Like the opportunity to make money is not always going to be there. There's going to be more people that get into merch. Like this thing is going to get more people into it. Like you're not always going to be able to make this money. So for me, it's all about like trading time right now, so I don't have to trade it later. Like make as much money as I can, be as successful as I can right now, get as much out of this opportunity as I can right now, so I don't regret something 5 years down the road where I'm like, shit, I could have fucking retired because I killed myself right now doing merch for these last 3 years. Like that's where I want to be with it. Like I want to take as much money out of the game as I possibly can.
Yeah, that's exactly. He's like another thing too. Like I told him from the very beginning, like I want him to outsource and just learn the power of outsourcing so he don't have to do this. But he's like, he scaled it. Him and Aaron scaled it so much already. Like there's no reason why not to outsource now. They're like,
yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, that's the other thing too. Like when you're starting out, it helps that my wife is a designer, right? She already knew how to use Photoshop. She knew how to design. She knew how to make good designs. For a lot of people, you're not going to have that ability. You've never worked with any of these programs before. So I think it makes sense for you, instead of wasting your time trying to learn how to do this stuff, like do the outsourcing right at the beginning. Like get it out of the way. Get a good designer, hire them, develop a relationship. It's going to be priceless.
Yeah. Okay, next question. What do you think is what's the best advice that you can give someone in tier 10?
Read the really, 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 really long post that's in the pin post in RJ's group about how to go from 10 to the 500 tier. It's all in there. Like I still agree with everything that's in that post. It's a little different because you don't have as many uploads as we did. But like that post is exactly 100% the way that I would go at it. And there's more stuff in there than I would have time to talk about right now. Like it's going to take you a while to read it. Like read through it, practice it. I mean, it's what Jeremy did to go from, he just got tiered up to 500 right now. He did the exact same thing, kept his pricing low, focused on trending items, like just made sales. Don't worry about profit. Get the sales, get the uploads, get tiered up to where you can actually make some real money. Yep, exactly. And if you have a shirt take off in the meantime, that's great. That's the whole idea too, is like you focus on trending designs and you might have one shirt that takes off, so you make money anyways.
Yeah. And then too, also you can spend, instead of going out for the weekend, spend and buy yourself 10 shirts that you're gonna wear, and then you'll cheer up that way too as well. Just get it out the way. Fuck it. Just get it out the way. Just buy your 10 designs and go.
Right. There's the hardest tier to get out of is the 10 tier. Like, it's just stupid because you don't have that many shots to have shirts that sell. You have to basically kind of get lucky because you don't know the game when you're getting into it. So, if you're at the 10 tier, there's a lot of merit to just buying yourself out. It's cheap.
Exactly. Okay, the next question. How do you research Evergreen shirts? How would you go about that?
So Evergreen for us is, like I was talking about earlier, we have a worksheet that literally has, I don't know how many are up there now, but it seems like there's probably over 1,000 different niches. And we just systematically go down the list and work it from one side to the next. So I want to make sure that I don't miss any of these niches. Like, I would like to ideally have designs in every one of those niches, because the more designs I have up, like the wider my path is, the more chances I'm going to have of making a sale every single day. In terms of results, are you asking about like how many shirts there are, like how much competition there are? Or are you asking about like what the BSR is? BSR, like I want to stay below 300K BSR. And I want to make sure that that's a real number, right? Like, so I'm going to look at Keepa. I'm going to look at, Merchant Form. I'm going to look and see what the daily sales are, because somebody that lists a brand new shirt, we had a shirt sell for the first time today. And if you went and looked at that shirt and you didn't look at how many times it had sold before, it was below 300K BSR, just because it sold really, really quickly. So Amazon's like, this must be a good shirt. You need that data. You want to make sure that these shirts are selling, multiple times in a month before you start investing your money in a designer to start making designs, because that shirt might have sold twice all time, but because it sold twice within the last couple of days, it looks like it's a really, really good shirt.
That's correct. Very good too. Very good right there.
Yeah, exactly. We learned some of this stuff because we were doing FBA before we got into merch. So like, if you're doing FBA already, you have an advantage over a lot of merch sellers that just got into merch. They don't really understand how Amazon's algorithm works with regards to BSR and how to tell like when a design is actually selling and when it's worth going after. Learning how to read a Keepa chart, like, it's really, really, really powerful. And if you don't know what Keepa is, Keepa, you should look it up. Play around with it. Install the Keepa plugin. It makes it really easy when you're on Amazon, along with the Quick View plugin, to tell really quickly like if a shirt that you're looking at is actually worth looking at.
Yeah. Okay, then also too, let's say you have a shirt that's making a sale. Let's say you have a shirt that's making a sale like every single day for like the last 2 weeks or whatever. What do you do? Like, let's say if you only made one shirt for that niche, how would you go about like making more? What would you do? Did you make designs for that shirt, or?
Yeah, so it's probably something we need to do a little bit better job of, quite frankly. I think personally, like, if a shirt sells like 2 or 3 times within a couple of days, like, you should be doubling down on that niche. Like, upload the shirt to a premium design, upload the different colors, right? Because people are going to be looking for that stuff, right? Like, if they like your design but they don't like the color, they're not going to buy your shirt. So make sure you have all of those options checked. So like, if they want the shirt in pink, make sure you got it up there. But also, like, if that shirt is selling like 2 or 3 different times, there's probably other designs in that niche that'll sell. So, double down on it. Make other designs in that niche around those same bullet points, around those same keywords. People are looking for that design. So make something a little bit different. You'll probably make some sales.
Yeah. And also too, with that, you can, like, so let's say if you upload the same design twice to a premium shirt, your shirt's going to pop up more when you scroll down on the cell phone when your customer goes to buy. You're going to see your design more. You know what I mean? You want your customer to see your design 3 or 4 times on different colors, premium, style, anvil, and they see it. They're going to buy it. And sometimes they see the most expensive price. They'll click on the most expensive price because they think it's going to be a better quality. And sometimes it's not a better quality, but you make more profit. All right, let's see the next question.
Do we list on other POD platforms? Are we looking in the Etsy Printful integration? So Aaron actually has an Etsy shop before we even got into this. That's kind of why I was pushing for us to do it in the first place, is because we were starting to do stuff with another POD on Etsy. And I was like, well, why don't we put it on Amazon? There's a lot more traffic on Amazon than there is on Etsy. So we already have the Etsy shop up. I just set up the Printful integration. We're probably going to hire somebody to start doing listings for us, because listings on Etsy are totally different from Amazon. They're a lot more work. Doing them right requires, you have to spend some time to do it right, but they're worth it. I mean, RJ will tell you, like, he's making sales on there right now. It's nice too because you can sell other things. So like Amazon right now, we can only do t-shirts. Printful, you can do baby onesies, you can do long sleeves, you can do hoodies, you can do mugs. So again, that's take one design and you can suddenly make money off it in so many different ways.
Yeah. And that's another thing too. Like, I don't want to show you guys Etsy yet until like I start making, I'm in profit right now, but I want to just make more sales and then see how it goes from there. And then I'll make a video for you guys, and I'll have Matt and Aaron make a video for you guys, and then we'll all make videos to kind of put out as much information as possible to make it easier for you guys. You know how we do it up in here.
There's no secrets, guys. Like there really isn't. There's no secrets. There's no, like, we don't have something that we're holding back. Like, everything I'm telling you right now is the stuff that me and RJ talk about all the time. Like, this is the stuff that we're doing. We just try and focus on it, make sure that it's consistent, make sure that we're trying to do as best we think what Amazon wants, and it's been successful for us.
Exactly. And I think if you guys didn't tear up today on Tuesday, I think the next tear up they'll do again, it will be Thursday or Friday. So don't get all scared because you didn't tear up today.
I think tearing up is a manual process too, because I've seen people that get tiered up that didn't have, like they've talked about, they didn't have the number of sales that they were supposed to have, or didn't have the right number of uploads or whatever. So I think it's manual. I don't think it's automatic. I don't think it's something that the system goes through and just automatically checks you off. So mistakes are going to happen.
Yep. You got it.
Next one. What's the process when you check your keywords for trademark? Do you take every word or phrase and put it through USPTO or TM Hunt? Are you familiar with what different trademarks mean? So I'll start with the last question first. My philosophy, and I think it's RJ's philosophy too, if I see trademarks out there in TM Hunt, that's primarily what we use to find trademarks. If I see a trademark out there, I'm generally going to stay away from it. I don't want to play with fire. Like, there's so many other designs we can make. That doesn't mean that, like, I'm necessarily right. Like, if I had more expertise on trademarks and I understood it, I might be willing to make some more shirts in those areas, but I don't. So I'm just not going to take a chance. Process, we try and stay pretty generic with our keywords. So they're descriptors. They're not something that is probably going to be trademarked. If there's anything that's a question about, like, it might possibly be a trademark, there's a plugin that's called Merch Research. It's really easy to you just highlight the word, right-click on it, and then you can actually search on it right there without having to type anything in or anything else. So it's a quick way to go through your listing and make sure that, like, maybe this word is trademarked or not. After you do enough listings, honestly, like, you just kind of know what to use. You know what words are probably going to be a problem, what aren't. And then, like, so for example, like Halloween and Christmas, right? Like, they're going to have different keywords that they're going to use for a lot of times on Evergreen shirts. So, we're going to do the research up front. So we're going to be making a lot of Halloween designs. We're going to be making a lot of Christmas designs. Those keywords are going to be used in both of them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to use the same keywords I use in my Halloween designs all throughout Halloween. The same with Christmas, all throughout Christmas. So do the research up front. Just get it out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. And then also too, like I said, just find somebody that you're close with and that's on the same level as you and help each other scale. Like, me and Matt and Aaron, we always, like I said, like, I wouldn't have known, what was it, Nap Queen was trademark if I didn't tell him right here on this live right here, on this YouTube live. If I didn't tell him that, I wouldn't have known. And I made a mistake. I made a mistake, and I'm going to go back and fix it because they corrected me on it, and I appreciate them for doing that because they probably saved a ding against my account. So I'm going to go back and fix it after this live.
If we saw a keyword in Merch Informer that had 30 estimated sales and a competition score of A, we would design for that niche. I mean, it's a bonus. I'm not really sure how they're determining what the competition score is or how they're determining the 30 estimated sales. From what I've seen, some of their numbers are a little wonky. Like, their estimated sales don't line up with what the actual sales are. I don't know how exactly. I mean, supposedly what they did is they basically did a regression model where they took a shirt, followed its BSR, and followed, you know, what the BSR was to how many sales it had, and that's how they determine what that number is. That doesn't work, like, because you're constantly going to have fluctuations in demand and everything else. So I pay more attention to Keepa and to sales rank graphs than I do to like those numbers and the competition score. I just think they're more accurate.
Yeah, so I think what Merchant Firming, what it does is like it checks it once a day. The sales rank once a day only. And what you want to see is a little squiggly line that goes up and down the screen, because you know it's making a sell, and then it's going up, makes a sell, then like every time it goes down, it makes a sell basically. So, all right, you got the next one right there.
Yeah. So no, we just have the one account. Erin's actually, she's had an application in for an account for probably, I don't know, 4 months, 5 months that hasn't been approved yet. Eventually, hopefully, we'll have 2 accounts because you're allowed to have, you know, accounts for every person in your household. So if you have kids, I know there's a guy in, I want to say it's the Jersey Merch Group that like he's got an account for himself, his wife, and like he's got ones in for like all of his kids too. You just need a different person and a different bank account basically. So the goal is eventually to have 2 accounts. Hasn't happened yet.
Where you at with the question? I'm trying to find you. Any tips on making text-based trending designs?
Pay attention to trends and like see what's out there. I
know one.
Go ahead.
Make sure that your font, whatever you put on the design, is big enough for people to see it.
Yeah.
Like when they're scrolling through, like don't put some tiny little thing with like 8 million words. Like make it clear so when people are scrolling, they can see your design. Like even on that tiny little thumbnail.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, that's really important. Like you have to realize most people are going to see your design in like basically a 2x2 square, or 2x3 square. So if you have a bunch of different words on your design, people probably aren't going to be able to read it, and they're going to scroll right past. Like short, powerful works better, in our opinion, than having a lot of stuff on a design.
Yeah. So what Erin said basically, so the title, the keyword is going to drive the traffic to that listing, and the thumbnail, you want the design to be showing really good because that's what's going to make the click happen. So if the click happens, most likely you're going to get a sell. There's a better chance of you getting a sell if they click on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they don't click on it, nothing's going to happen.
Nothing's going to happen.
Selling, do we take it down to use a slot for a different design? We never actually had to do that because we tiered up so quickly. So we've always got availability for designs. If we reach a point where they freeze the number of designs we can upload or whatever, so we're stuck at like the 1K tier in Q4, I can see where we'd go through and remove some of our designs to put new designs back up. But we haven't had to deal with that yet.
I'm trying to figure out.
But we factored up pretty quickly.
Oh, that's right, because we got held up for like a week or something.
I'm trying to figure out where you're at.
We are the, Alba Suarez.
All right, Albert Suarez, I'm coming for you. Where you at?
Right below Marvin.
Okay, I see it. So
You see it?
are people making a full-time living off of merch?
Yes. Yeah, there are people making lots of money off merch. Then not everybody that's making a lot of money off merch is actually talking in Facebook groups, guys. I think, quite honestly, like it's the opposite. People that are being really, really successful, they probably are keeping it under their hat. Like there are people making a lot of money. Yeah. So
I'm in a little secret group that we have one guy in there making last year he made 30K in profit for the December month last year. So I'm coming after him. He knows who I'm talking about. So, all right, next question. Let's see. 2K.
I'm not Abraham. I am not a accountant. I don't like. I can't answer that question. Like legit. Like if you have questions on taxes, guys, like there's professionals out there. Those are the ones you want to ask.
Save 30%. Save 30% of that.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all it is. Save, invest, save and invest.
Yes.
For the okay, where we at? Okay, Joseph said, "Good gems tonight, fellas." I was referring to what you're increasing the ranking by spiking. Did you see about the tutorial? I was referring to what you're increasing ranking by spiking the BSR by running PPC or doing a pricing.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure what.
Oh, so you want to see a video on how we do pricing? I think the next video I'm going to do is going to be kind of on PPC and keywords, and just showing people kind of how I look at it for keywords and that kind of stuff. For pricing, I mean, I can do a video on it. It's so the way that like spiking BSR guys, like there's no magic formula. Like by doing this, it doesn't mean every one of our shirts take off. Like what I'm doing is I'm trying to give them the best opportunity to get seen and the best opportunity to take off. It works on some, it doesn't work on all of them. And that's just how it's going to be with like a trending design. Like what you're trying to do is you're just trying to hopefully get a snowball running, get it, have a couple of sales, have some more sales, and suddenly before you know it, like it just takes off. That's what we're trying to do.
Isn't Trump copyrighted? No. Can you use images for Trump?
So it's like anything else that you guys are doing with merch. Like you have to make sure that the image is good for commercial use. You can't just grab something that you see on Google Images and throw it on a design. Like people actually own those images, and they'll come after you for it.
Yeah. Are you running any type of Facebook ads to your
Nope.
actual shirt listings? Have you started branding on Facebook yet?
No, we haven't started doing either of those. With everything that I've kind of heard in the last couple of months and just kind of my thoughts as they've evolved on merch, I think that we are going to move towards branding. I talked about this with RJ actually earlier today. We may start branding for several different brands depending on what the design is, because in terms of a brand, like we're not Nike. We're not going to be able to throw up 8 million different shirts under one single branch and have it make sense. Sorry, that's just not my expertise. But so I think it makes more sense to, like when you're branding, to brand yourself under a couple of different companies that do so seasonal designs, sports designs, etc. That's my thoughts. It's very early. Like I don't have it all completely figured out. But that's kind of where I think if we are going to start branding and doing those things, that's what we're going to do.
I honestly think one of the best pages to start is like a viral page. So like the kneel, like take a knee for the flag, stuff like that. If you can put it on a general fan page, like a news fan page, a general fan page, you can make shirts off of that, and it'll go viral like crazy. So
yeah, RJ by far is the Facebook guy more than I am. So RJ was doing some Shopify stuff, and he knows Facebook ads way better than I do. So if you have questions about Facebook, that's who I would direct them towards.
Yeah, Matt, he don't even know it, but he has it. Like I can tell by talking to him. Like I'd show him one thing, he'll get it like that. Smart fucker.
Shit.
Are you both Angel fans?
We are both Angel fans. Yeah.
I like that you're sporting an Angel hat tonight.
I haven't even been to an Angels game like in 3 years.
We haven't been to one this year. This is the first time that we haven't been to an Angels game since we've been together. Yeah, it's actually been a decent season too. I thought they were going to be horrible this year.
Yeah. Don't even ask me a question. I just walk away when the fans ask me, so how about your Angels? I'm just like, oh.
They're awesome. Do you think designers have a bigger advantage on merch? RJ can answer that question really easily.
Do you think designers have a bigger advantage on merch? Well, you can look at it from two different point of views. They used to have like 100 and something, 200 designs live, and they made $12K profit in 1 month off of 2 designs, 200 live, 300 live, or something like that. And with me, I kind of went the different route. I suck at designing, and I went and outsourced it right away. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where you're trying to go with that.
What the statement? I think the statement is like, do designers have a bigger advantage? I mean, honestly, man, like you said multiple times, like you don't know shit about design. Like you're a horrible designer. Like you don't need to be a designer to be successful in this business. You just need to be smart enough to understand, like figure out what the market wants, and then outsource it and find somebody that can. Like, that's the secret to being successful in any business, guys, is like understanding how you can use your talents to get sales, get business, focus on your strengths. I mean, I know both me and RJ are big Gary Vee guys. Like, Gary talks about it all the time. Like, don't focus on your weaknesses. Like, you're wasting your time. Like, focus on your strengths. Like, if your strength is, figuring out things like RJ's, like, that's his strength, is like seeing something, figuring out a pattern, figuring out how to take advantage of it, and then figure out how to make money off it. Focus on that. Don't focus on trying to make designs.
Exactly. Okay, now I get where you're going with this. The trends would kind of answer that already. Really nice red hat. What brand is it? See, now they're trying to buy your hat now. See?
They're trying to buy my hat. Like, this hat is like thrash. This is the Angel spring training hat. I've had this for probably 5 years.
Don't be trying to drop your affiliate link in here. No way.
Any chance of getting that niche list? Message RJ on Facebook.
Yeah, you message me on Facebook, or you can send me an email right after this video. It's in the description below. So, let me see. All right. Going back to Amazon to add reports. Did you download mine and then search trend? You see David with this question?
Yeah. I haven't seen that particularly, but no, I would not put the ASIN in front of your title. That's not going to help you show up in search. It's just going to be gibberish for Amazon's search algorithm. That's really weird.
No, not the ASIN, David. I think so. What we're talking about is like when you look at the data, you want to see what keyword is getting like the best results, and then you're going to put not the ASIN. You're going to put the actual keyword in front of the title.
Yeah, you want the keyword.
Yeah. Do nothing with the ASIN. You're going to get that shirt deleted right away, or you might even get your account suspended.
Yeah. What will we do with shirts that didn't sell for 90 days? It depends on. So honestly, like, if it didn't sell for 90 days, it's probably not a great design. So we're probably not going to put it back up. But I know that we did put up one design, a couple designs, and mostly because there were designs we put up early that, like, the keywords weren't very good, and we just kind of threw them up because we needed to have an upload anyways. We were just filling up our slots that day because we wanted to tear up. But yeah, generally we're not going to put them back up.
Homebase, what up, CC? Homebase Hustler. I would love to do a one-on-one with you guys. Any chance to get some help?
If we need to get like 28 more people on here, and then somebody's going to win a chance for a Skype call with me anyways. We can talk about stuff. Like, we'd really like to get to 100. So if you guys haven't shared it yet, you guys should hit that share button, hit the thumbs up button.
Yeah, hit that thumbs up button and share it. We're about an hour and 15 minutes into it. The highest we got was about 83 watchers. So I don't know.
We'll see. Tried any influencer marketing? No. Haven't needed to do it. Like, organic traffic on Amazon is really good. I think it's powerful. I think it's something that, it definitely, if you have the ability to do it, it's something worth exploring. But it's not cheap. Like, you have to actually think about it in a smart way. Like, you're not going to be able to go to somebody that has 500,000 followers and go, hey, here's my shirt. Like, how much is it going to be? Like, it's going to be more money than it's probably going to make, that shirt's going to make. I think that you would have to go after smaller influencers, so people that have, 4,000 to 8,000 followers, that kind of thing, because those people aren't going to expect to make a lot of money off it. Honestly, a lot of times they're probably not even expecting to make any money off of it. So you can probably get it in cheap, but not my thing, not my expert. That's literally just like repeating stuff that I heard from Gary Vee, like, over the years.
Yeah. Okay. So right here is Jason. He says, if there's not enough data sometimes on the Keepa chart, what's your strategy there?
So you're saying, like, Keepa doesn't show that there's a sales rank graph or whatever. Typically, if it doesn't show up on Keepa, it will show up on Merchant Former. So Keepa didn't do a really good job on shirt data, I think, until like a couple months ago, quite honestly. I remember me and RJ talking about it. So I'll check on Merchant Former and see what the sales rank graph is there, just see the spikes. If there's nothing on it there, then I'm probably not going to be looking at that design unless it's something I think is just a really good design and it's on point and it might have a chance of taking off.
Yeah, okay. I think, well, another thing too with the lower tiers, you don't want to be worrying about too much of like stuff like that. You want to stay away from stuff like that. You want to focus more on like evergreen shirts, or like if you see it making sales, then you want to design that. But if you don't see it making sales and it's not like a trending design, then don't even make it. Like it's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like skip it. And then when you get in the higher tiers, then you can go ahead and make it, like, because you might make a sale on it. You never know. All right, so next question. Good advice. Premium. What's your guys' opinion on suspension, termination, and how does Amazon determine who to keep up with?
Keep work with and who to throw out. So I think Amazon doesn't like cherry pick who they're going to throw out and who they're going to keep. Quite honestly, like Amazon doesn't care. Amazon makes so much money from everything else. Like merch is a drop in the bucket. I think Amazon keeps the people that actually follow the rules. So if you're getting a lot of rejections, you should really stop, take an examination of what your process is and figure out why you're getting rejections. I think across the board, and from people that sell a lot more shirts than I do, that have looked at some of these people that get suspended, more often than not, they got suspended because they did something really stupid. I don't think it's like Amazon being, capricious or like, going out after people like, because they have a grudge or something like that. Like, you got suspended for a reason. It didn't just happen.
I think a lot of people are getting suspended for trying to quote after the Game of Thrones. Like, why would you even do that?
Yep.
Like, don't even do that.
Yep.
Like with Etsy, that's different. Like you can kind of get away just a little bit, but with Amazon,
even Etsy, you're not supposed to do it. But the difference is Etsy is such a young platform, and it's grown to the point where like they don't have the tools in place that they're going to be able to track all that stuff down. They're depending on the rights holders to go after these people and tell them to take it down. So like even on Etsy, like you got to be careful. Like you want to make sure that you're firmly within parity. You don't want to be taking stuff directly from like Disney or movies or something like that, because it's going to result in you getting you get 3 strikes and you're out on Etsy. You're done.
Yeah. And Matt has actually had some experience on Etsy. He's not telling us, keeping all his secrets.
A little bit, just a little bit. So with strategy of seeing what sells on Merch Informer and make a better design, what is better for you, it's quite subjective. It is. This is the advantage of having a wife that's a designer. Like she's the one that kind of makes those decisions. I just do the research, find out what's selling, what niches are selling, what's trending, and then I do the keywords and the uploading. She's the one that makes the design decisions. I think that honestly, like design it's a little bit opinion, I guess, but honestly, like you should be able to tell, like you can look at a shirt that looks really, really crappy and go, okay, that looks like crap. I can think of 2 or 3 things that will make it better and it'll sell. It'll sell. Like it's not that complicated.
Yeah, basically there's a lot of traffic going to that design. It's making sales already. Like sometimes you really don't even have to try hard to make a design better. Like you just make a basic design similar to it, but do not copy it exactly. Mm-hmm. And then it'll make a sell for no reason. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It's literally as easy sometimes too as like make a better font. Like spend some money on your guys' business. So buy premium fonts, buy graphic packages, all those things. Like most people that are doing designs on Amazon right now, they're using the free stuff out there, like the stuff that's just free and everybody can use. Like get something that's going to set yourself apart. It makes a world of difference.
Okay. Let's see the next one. Are you uploading to Redbubble?
RJ is. I don't think. At least I think RJ was. I'm not.
No. My actually uploader didn't want to do it. It's like too much. It's like too much time for her. And I was like, okay, I understand. She's like, unless you pay me more. And I was like, no, just come over here back to merch and upload full time over here. So
yep.
Yeah. All right. Okay. We'll answer a few more questions.
Jeremy, where's these questions being typed?
Where are these questions being typed? You can't see them?
I don't know. Well, I mean, obviously you figured out how to type them somehow because you put the question in there.
I know. Can't see it? That's all. Thanks, Jeremy, for coming in all late and telling us all late. Really appreciate you. You helped out a lot for our first time doing a YouTube live.
What is BSR and how to use it? BSR is bestseller rank. It's Amazon listing, right where it says like product details. on the computer. And your BSR is a representation of how well the item sells on the Amazon Marketplace. So the lower the BSR, so if you have a 10,000 BSR, it's selling really well. If it's a 1,500,000 BSR, it doesn't sell very often at all. That's the best way I can describe it quickly.
Okay.
Can I do parody shirts on merch like Dadzilla or May the Poop Be With You? What do you think, RJ?
It's all on you. What do you think?
We generally stay away from parody.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you just don't want to put yourself on the radar for certain things. I know people do parody and they do fairly well with it. It's just not something that we do.
See, something like that you can get away with more on Etsy, I think, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Now with most of my designs are just the text with the graphic in there, and that's it. And nothing too crazy. On the time,
David, on that list that RJ has pinned, that's everything that we use. I think the only thing that might not be in there is something that we just started using today. It's a tool called Pretty Merch, and I'm not even going to recommend that anybody use it. I just kind of downloaded it to see what it's like until I see whether I like it or not. Like, I'm not going to make a recommendation one way or the other.
There was one that said, okay, what are you designing for right now, Matt?
It's a mixture. So it's a mixture of Evergreen, Halloween. We just started designing Christmas. I just posted that thing in the group the other day that we're like 91 days out from Christmas. Like, get your designs up. So it's a mixture. On what the day is, what we feel like, what my designer's working on, etc. There's no hard, fast rules.
Okay. Isn't Gary Vee a public figure? I tried to use his image of him and it got rejected.
I mean, props to you. It's like, there's some hustle right there. Like, were you planning on marketing that to Gary Vee, sending him on Twitter and see if he'd buy some of your shirts? I think that the difference between Gary Vee and Donald Trump is like orders of magnitude, right? Like, everybody in the U.S. knows who Donald Trump is. Like, you mentioned Gary Vee to a person on the street, and they're going to go, who the fuck are you talking about? Like, just because you know about him doesn't mean he's a public figure.
What if my strength is design, not keyword? What if my strength is design and not keywords research? What do I do?
Well, I mean, the good news for you is you have something that is probably not the hardest thing to teach. Like, if you feel like you're a good designer, all the other stuff you can learn. And at the end of the day, like, if that's not your strength, like keywords and research, it's going to be hard to be successful in this business, because at the end of the day, if you can't figure out what's selling and you can't figure out how to do the keywords for it, your designs are never going to be found, no matter how good the design is. So honestly, keywords and research, it's really not that tough. It's just not. Like, the information is there for you. Like, I know both me and RJ, like, we do the exact same thing when it comes to keywords most of the time. If I'm not taking the data from PPC, if it's something that I'm just putting the shirt up, I'm going to look at what keywords are in other designs in that niche that I'm competing against. Like, if there's a design that's selling well, his keywords are probably on point. There's a reason this shirt got found in the first point. So, like, people make this too complicated. Like, it's really not that. It's really not. Like, it's simple. Like, if there's a design that's selling well, and you can make a better design than that, like, look at their keywords, figure out what keywords they have, and use those keywords. Don't copy the listing, but use the keywords.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, too. Like, and also, too, if you're a good designer, that's good. I'll give you props all the way. But like I told you, more designs is more money. If you have more designs uploaded, you're gonna make more money. This is the way it is. You know what I mean? You just have to understand that. All right, let's go.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll say this too. Like, when it comes to design, like, I'm not poo-pooing design. Like, design matters. Like, having a better design than the other people out there matters. Like, Ken Reel, that's the guy that RJ is talking about that did 30K in December. Like, that was his biggest piece of advice was, like, put up good designs. Like, most of the stuff that's on Amazon, like, it's crap. It sucks. That's why we're able to do the strategy that we do right now. It's not because, like, we're miraculous designers that make amazing things and they're that much better. It's because the stuff that, well, sorry, my wife speaks up right now. She begs to differ. But It's because most of the stuff you're competing out there it's shit. Like it's just ugly designs. Like they suck. Like more often than not, I guarantee you guys look at a design and go, and I show this to RJ all the time. I'm like, how the hell is this thing selling 25 copies a month?
And the customer is more worried about, they're not even, they actually like the design because it's making sales. Like you don't even know it's a good design.
Yeah, a lot of times it's as simple as like that design figured out something that a customer wanted, like whether it's the words or whatever, and it's the only thing out there that's actually selling it. So they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy it. That's where you can totally come in and go, hey, this design sucks, but hey, I like the idea and improve it and make a lot of money.
Like I told you before, like I yell at my designer and I told him, this looks like shit. Like who's gonna buy this? And then the next day I upload it and then it makes it sell the next day. I'm just like, oh man, now I gotta send him a link and tell him it made it sell. Like I feel like an asshole now. So you don't know until you test the market. Test the market. Once you can test the market, if it's making sell, if it makes it sell, then go from there.
All right. Lowest you ever charged for a design?
Oh wait.
Okay, so this sounds more along the lines of like, how do you get a better price from your designer?
So what I like to do is I will come in there and like I'll say like for example, let's say I want 10 designs a day. So I want 300 designs for the month and I'll offer in bulk. So 300 designs and I'll offer them, let's say $600 for the month for 300 designs. So I want 10 a day, right? For $600. And they see that as a long-term, and then you can pay them at the end of the month with the payout of merch. My first payout was when I started this full-time was $351, and my designer made like $450 something, and I had to pay out of pocket, but I really didn't pay out of pocket because it was an investment. So hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, like if you're going to be successful in any business, like you're going to have to invest something. Like this is an unusual opportunity because there's such low startup costs. Like normally to have a business like this, you would have thousands and thousands of dollars invested to be able to do what we're doing right now. So don't get greedy. Like you're going to make so much more money by investing now and investing in like personnel and tools and all of those things than you are by trying to hold on to every little last penny. Like you can make so much more money by having 3,000 shirts up and having a bunch of designers than you can if you want to hold on to every single last penny and be the only designer out there.
Exactly. All right, let's do 2 more questions and then that's it. You can go ahead and do the last 2. Pick the last 2 questions.
So my YouTube channel, we just started it up. It's Merch, MERCH, Elephant, ELEPHANT. You should be able to find it on Yahoo. On YouTube.
I will put that in the description below too as well. After the video, I'll edit the description a little bit and I'll put their YouTube channel down below. His first video was pretty good. Like the first 2 minutes of it, it'll make you smile. So
we'll see. I mean, I got yelled at for cursing, which I apologize. I have a little bit of a sailor's mouth, but that's how I talk. So that's who I am.
All right, go ahead to the next one. Last question, or what are we doing?
Last question. So hold on, let me.
Or go ahead and pick 2 more if you like.
All right. I'm not going to tell you what my best-selling niche is. You're going to have to do the research. It's not that hard to find. So do you also come up with your own concept in a niche that is selling well, or look at what sells and make a better design? We'll do both. Like we'll see something out there and like maybe it's got a saying, but it's got a different picture on there that I think really represents the design. Or sometimes we'll just look at it and go, okay, I understand what you're doing there. A lot of times with like text-based designs, there's only so much you're going to be able to do, right? Like, but you can change the font, you can change the coloring, you can change the word layout on the page, that kind of stuff. It's a little bit of everything. And then Dan Safkow, just reach out to us on Facebook if you guys want to do some kind of a meetup or something like that. We'd probably be down. One last question. Which one are we doing, RJ?
Let me pick it.
Oh, here we go. Here's a good one. Are the overseas Philippines designers and uploaders as good as we are being told on the Facebook groups? We just hired our first designer. I think she's really good. She's Filipino. RJ's got more experience than with that than I do. I will say that I just know like the Filipino people as a whole, like they have a lot of pride in their work. I think that's kind of where we see the advantage of being able to hire Filipinos, especially because the dollar goes a long way there. So being able to hire a designer for $500, $600 a month, what you would be paying 3 times, 4 times that for hiring them someplace else makes a big difference. And the nice thing is they all speak English pretty well, from what I've seen anyways.
Yeah, they're actually pretty passionate about the work. So you got to be careful how you talk to them because you can hurt their feelings and you don't want to make them cry. And yeah, they're very passionate, but I tell them the truth. So
RJ's just mean.
I'm not mean. Yeah, so and they're pretty cool too. They're very like genuine. They're like they appreciate their work. Like they want it to be good looking. Like they want the work to be good for you. And then when you pay them, like it means everything to them. Like they can live off of $400, $500 a month. That's
a good salary there. That's the thing a lot of people don't understand too. Like they're worried that like you're like shortchanging people because you're paying them so much less than you'd be paying here. Like $500, $600 a month in the Philippines it's a lot of money over there. It's a good salary over there.
All right.
Are we done? We good?
I think we're wrapping it up. They got to upload. Look at that. Look at the relationship goals. Go ahead, talk. Look at Aaron on the his left hand side. She's over there doing designs. He's uploading right there.
Yep, we got a 2-person desk. We work side by side. So
yeah, that's okay. Well, that's pretty much it. We're gonna be doing we're gonna be doing a meetup in LA, January 26th. The link is in the description. It's gonna be Matt's gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. Reezy's gonna be there. There's gonna be a lot of us there. Travis is gonna design candy. Young from Merch Minds. Justin Senior from Shopify. He does a lot of Shopify training. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys want to see us there, I'll have the link in the description for the tickets and stuff like that. So, all right, Matt, appreciate your time. Aaron, thank you.
Cool. RJ says thank you. She says you're welcome.
All right, I'll message you right now. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys. Appreciate it.